those next year. But then,
So you do these two?
but then, the big ones, I was getting ready to start harvesting in the spring. And I've been waiting on that. I'll get a bunch of them.
So how do you spell that, Bart?
Strong?
Yes.
Crawford?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Rankin?
Here.
Dickerson?
Yes.
Simpson? Emerson?
Here.
Public comments.
Before we start, I would like to say, can we have a moment of silence for Shirley? Oh, yeah. Oh.
Sure. Any other public comments? Public comments on the September expenses, general fund, $24,462.42. Major streets, $4,091.58. Sewer fund, $14,681.70. Local streets, $0. Approval of current agenda or amendments to the current agenda. Any amendments to the current agenda?
And I wanna add, to sewer, purchase ferric acid for, the plant.
The purchase ferrous oxide?
Ferric acid,
Acid.
okay, ferric acid.
Any other?
I would like to add, under parks, I'd like to add, the Christmas decorating and parade for Haven Park.
Any others?
Just Halloween under clerk that we posted something about
Alright, we have approval of the September 16th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. And approval of the current amended agenda.
I make a motion.
Discussion. Roll call.
Strong?
Yes.
Crawford?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Rankin?
Yes.
Dickerson?
Yeah.
Emerson?
Yes.
Simpson?
Yes.
Communication, Vandenbrink County Commissioner.
Good evening, everyone. September, activity seems old news with this meeting being so late this month, but nonetheless, here we are. We did have an update on our broadband, services for the county, and I asked Bloomingdale Township last week if, they knew of any spots where there were gaps, and they indicated there were some, and where?
North of town is what the gentleman said.
Where?
North of town.
So, we'll make note of that and see if they've got that on their radar as well, to get that gap taken care of. pretty well in the county, other than that area in Lawrence that's, we're making progress on. We did approve our final budget for the next fiscal year, 25-26, with just over $32 million of, general fund expenditures and revenues. So that should hold pretty well, unless there's some unforeseen changes in the revenues or expenditures. We did reach an agreement with Purdue Pharmaceuticals, part of the opioid settlement project. So now that's another pharmaceutical that we brought into the settlement piece with Van Buren County. We're hoping that will bring in another $200,000 for us to use locally, and granting awards to local organizations to assist with opioid addiction and related issues. We entered into an agreement with OTM Cybersecurity. They are going to assist us in providing cybersecurity for us and helping us in the event that there is a disaster, that we are struck by some type of spyware or something that shuts down the county's system. It continues to be a concern. It's a serious concern. And so they are not only helping us, guide us to have a safer user system, but also hopefully a backup plan to our system, and to be with us in the event of an attack to help us negotiate through it. So feel a little better about them being on board, and hopefully they will have good solutions if and when, which I hope it doesn't happen, but we do have an attack system. We did approve another $100,000 service agreement renewal with Van Buren County Conservation District. That's to provide with the recycling and disposal of hazardous waste in our county. And we're working on this digital innovation collaborative exchange program with St. Joe County, and to really help us digitalize a lot of our functions, so that things can be done online more easily, more opportunity to do so, which hopefully would streamline services that the county provides, and less wait time and less cost to the county eventually. So going on with the health department, they did indicate there were 3 pertussis cases that were reported in the past 2 weeks, also known as whooping cough, and so they're keeping an eye on those to make sure that doesn't get out of hand. I just noticed that the health department issued 43 swimming pool inspections. I really didn't know you had to have your swimming pool inspected, I have to admit, but John, do you have your?
Not this year, I might be a little overdue on that pool inspection.
Anyway, they did 43 of those, as well as 43 restaurant inspections, 71 septic permits and 69 well permits. The Van Buren Public Transit continues to grow, and ridership continues to increase. Very proud of how they're doing. September 24th, they had their open house on the expansion of their building over there in their Bangor facility, and they had a good turnout for that. Any of you are still interested in seeing that, you can stop in anytime. They'll be glad to show you their new digs there. I attended the annual county commissioners program, kind of convention thing in Traverse City a couple of weeks ago. Seems like all 83 counties are kind of struggling with the same issues. We're personally, in our county, we're now in contract negotiations with our labor team, so that's always a bit of a struggle. And we've got some significant, we've just been notified by our insurance carrier that we're going to see significant increases for the next fiscal year.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's health insurance
Well,
skyrocketing, as well as other.
They are, and it appears that we have a population that isn't a real
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They
the
are-
word.
They are an aging population,
Yes.
our county employees, and we, so there aren't a lot of insurers that are willing to jump on and step in and take over our claims in our policy. So, we'll get through it, but it is gonna be a challenge because it's gonna mean the employees are gonna have to eat some of that as well as the county, so. It'll take some, some good negotiations on both sides and some reasonable minds, and we'll get through it. But other than that, things are going quite well. And, on the bright side, any questions, to take back to the, commissioners or issues? Okay. thank you.
What is the Parks and Recreation, that's a new committee you formed, right?
It is.
No,
And- Yeah,
that's-
it is.
Yes,
Yeah, but you.
Yeah, it's fairly new. This year it was formed.
And what are they gonna, what is their job gonna be?
They are actually going to first survey what we have in the county as far as parks and recreational, opportunities and facilities. Survey, they've started the survey process to determine.
I already sent mine in.
Did you? Good. You want a new skate park, I know.
You want the water park.
Can't wait.
so
And
I'm
it's a
sorry,
water park.
you said that they were starting to reach out and contact each township to find out, how are they going about this?
How did you get did it come to
It
the
came to my email.
email?
Mhm.
Okay, as,
It was like a
as
survey
private
monkey.
individual or as a township official?
Township.
Okay, so, yeah, I think that's how they're starting to see, and then, did they ask you to reach out to your township population?
Did they ask you to reach out?
Or did they just want your individual?
It was just a bunch of questions,
Okay,
and you just filled in the blanks, you had to pick like 3 in this section, 4 in this section, write your comments.
so anyway, that process is going, surveying what.
So they're gonna help each community basically try to
Yeah,
Maximize their park
either enhance what they have or
help us.
fill the gaps of what people are saying they need that aren't out there, so.
Kirk Darrow heading that up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr.
I'm serious.
Recreation.
Yes. He's a great guy for that.
Yeah.
He's a perfect guy for that.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I think
Okay,
that's
well,
good.
thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Dave.
We'll see you next month.
Pleasure as always.
Yeah.
Parks and Recreation.
Two things. I got a call from the state trooper today that handled our Porta John tip over. We're getting $150 restitution for that. It's coming from Kansas County Court. And to date, our sales, are 1,190. We projected 1,200, so we're $10 off. We've got 2 weeks to go yet, so maybe we'll make that, so that's good, that's all I've got.
Alright, President's Monthly Report, everybody can see North Vandenbrink Street's not quite done yet. They did all everybody's driveway approaches today. Whether it was dirt before or not, they're all paved now.
Thank you.
Everybody had a paved one. We have to come back and do a little more work on a couple drains, do the striping. Then we gotta figure out what we're gonna, I'm still trying to get hold of somebody to find out with 3 drains, curb drains sticking up in the road on the side they got going by. Still
That's
got-
those 3 I told you about.
Yeah,
What's,
waiting to hear back from
are they
somebody.
gonna pay more on this side and raise that up? Cause snowplow's gonna smack that.
Still waiting for a call back. I did talk to or text our contact, Jeff Weingart, today, several times today. He's been getting back to me, but he's gotta find out.
Who's gonna do their striping, Justin? And they have somebody coming to do it, we don't have to
Yes.
get them, okay?
And I got their number and I've left several messages trying to get them called back to see if they'll go to the south limit and to the east limit, but I haven't heard back. I'll try again tomorrow. Got a donation from some people I met this summer. They used to own my home when they lived in my home when they were kids. Jerry Buren and his sister Joanne. Got a letter from, she sent the check to Jerry to send here, said please find my sister Joanne's donation, thanks for all the good work you do. I talked to them for about an hour. I had no idea who they were. They backed, turned around, just parked there looking at the house. And after about 10 minutes, I started to walk out, so he kind of pulled away, and then he backed up and introduced himself. She was in from New York.
I'm surprised you waited 10 minutes.
Remington.
Yeah,
His wife is their sister,
okay.
that's how, they're all related.
Talked for about half hour, 45
Yeah,
minutes,
nice people.
almost an hour. Got his number, and then she sent this $1,000 donation. To Justin Crawford, it is my privilege to enclose a check for the benefit and enhancement of the Bloomingdale Depot stop on the Cowhaven Trail.
Awesome.
Sincerely, Joanne Warden Vandenbrink.
We gotta get you on some posters.
Then I talked
Shake some
to,
hands.
Jerry, and after, she didn't want it, but he'd like to get some public acknowledgement for his sister. So we're gonna get a letter, get something posted on our Facebook page, and he's probably gonna be making a donation in the near future. So win-win. A little bit of talking, easy money. Probably need a lot more from it. Treasurer's report. Account balance is good, 9/30/2025, general fund, $381,737.78. Money market, $111,954.32. Major street, $190,466.67. Local street, $55,204.83. Money market, $110,857.90. Sewer checking, $90,520.81. Bond and interest, $156,292.12. Our account at Consumers Credit Union, $428,639.40. For a total balance of $1,525,673.83. Clerk report.
I'm gonna jump around on mine. The Halloween, we put an ad in the newspaper and on Facebook. Obviously October 31st, from 5 to 7. If you wanna participate, please leave your porch light on. The next one is the Fleis and Vandenbrink, invoice for $27,328.90, and that's for services rendered from July 27th to August 23rd for the North Van Buren project.
I'll make a
No,
motion
Fleis and
that we pay
Vandenbrink.
that bill.
Did I say Remington? I'm sorry.
No, you said please.
Yes.
You've got Remington on there.
Yes, but I went back up to Fleis and Vandenbrink, that one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we pay Fleis and Vandenbrink $27,328.90.
Discussion.
What was that motion?
To pay Fleis and Vandenbrink.
Police and Vandenbrink.
Oh, okay. I'll second that.
I already got it.
Good for you.
Roll call.
Strong,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Rankin, Dickerson,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Empson.
Yes.
Okay, and now Remington Excavation is $1,440 for moving a gravel pile and rough grading the road. And, that
Rocky Road.
was,
Rocky.
yes, Rocky Road.
I'll make a motion that we pay Remington $1,444.
Discussion?
Discussion. Any discussion?
None. Roll call.
Strong,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yeah.
Rankin,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Empson.
Yes.
Do you want to go or would you like me to start?
Go
For
ahead.
the editorial response for the Bloomingdale sale. Mr. President, with your permission, I would like to enter a statement and a question for the record. Do I have your permission for
Yes,
that?
you.
This question is directed to Mr. Curtis Dickerson, who's in the audience. Your recent reports and letter include legal claims regarding the village's actions, including alleged ordinance violations, financial procedures, and conflicts of interest. For the record, can you confirm whether those legal conclusions were evaluated by a licensed attorney, an auditor, or another qualified professional?
If they were what, sorry, repeat that?
If they were, can you confirm whether those conclusions on your report were reviewed by a licensed attorney, auditor, or a professional?
Yeah, the whole report was reviewed by a licensed attorney, yes.
Okay,
Prior
can
to
you
its
provide me
publication.
those names?
I'll send it to you via email, I don't have
Okay.
them that one right here in front of me.
So, also a clarification on who reviewed the village's response, cause that was in your email that you had followed up with me.
Yeah.
The document titled "The Response to the Editorial Report on the Bloomingdale Village Sale" was prepared through the clerk's office and reviewed by the village president before submission. Several council members also reviewed the several report from Mr. Dickerson, shared factual information and input to the clerk's office prior to the response being finalized. The letter therefore reflects the official administrative response of the Village of Bloomingdale's based on verified information from the village's own records, including meeting minutes, bid packets, and financial documentation. This document was later posted online under a different title described as commentary. That characterization is not accurate. It is not an opinion or an interpretation. It is factual and correction-based for public record. For example, in the original report, selling the village short dated October 14th, 2025 states the FOIA records confirmed that $567,750 from the land sale was deposited into the village's general fund. That statement is incorrect. The funds were deposited into the USDA bond and interest account and then transferred into the sewer fund checking account solely to issue a payoff check to the USDA. That is clearly documented on a check stub with the FOIA information already provided. The village stands by accuracy in its records and the integrity of the process. Transparency means sharing verified information, and that's exactly what has been done. The village's response was prepared and submitted in good faith to ensure public records reflects the facts, and that's how we remain that intent. I also want to acknowledge that Mr. Dickerson's follow-up letter specifically noted the clerk's office thorough and responsive record keeping through the FOIA process. I appreciate the recognition. My role as the clerk is to ensure transparency, maintain accurate records, provide equal access to information for all members to the public. Every document released in this matter was provided in the accordance with FOIA and the village's record retention policies. The village has nothing to conceal, and our records remain fully available to the public for inspection. The record will now reflect the clarification for public transparency.
Very good to know.
Grant oversight.
I don't have anything tonight.
I'm gonna make a suggestion. We can apply for part of that grant. We've got enough expenses.
We have turned things in, for some reason, they thought we only had 9,000. I corrected them and they asked for copies of the checks.
Yes. I thought they wanted just the invoices. I didn't know they wanted the checks as well. So I have to send another email with checks.
So they're not saying we have 40,000.
No,
Have they corrected that?
they went from 9,000 to 18,000.
What happened?
So that's all we have available.
Well, when I looked at the email, you didn't include the windows?
From Baker?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the first one. That's the first one.
That was almost 10,000, wasn't it?
Yeah. We paid them 5,000?
Who?
Baker.
I'd have to look it
We
up.
gave gave them one check and then we gave them a second check, so,
Partial.
yeah. So we've given, I think we've given a little over half or half anyway, so,
It was my mistake, I misinterpreted, you said send me invoices, so I
That's
sent
what
the
the-
invoices.
well, that's what they
Not
asked me for, was the
yeah.
invoices, so.
Gotta follow up with the proof of payment checks.
The engineer, the
That one was in
the
there.
electrical disconnection, the
That
gas
one,
disconnection, okay.
Yeah.
So,
And I told her I could take, print out the report from QuickBooks so they can see also.
Did we pay the 9,000 up front? The half of the excavation?
yes,
To everybody?
yeah,
So one ways we paid a dime.
And they did send me a receipt for the second half of that 18 for a check.
for bill or.
You're not paying them.
You want me to wait?
Hmm?
You want me to wait?
Well,
Our contract says once they set it down, they're done, they get the second half.
Okay.
And did you get something more from Alex?
The only thing I got was from the lady in the office.
That,
with the
that
invoice.
email you gave me? Well,
Yes.
Alex sent me a text wanting the second half. I haven't responded to it, because that's not what your letter says, or the email you got.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. So-
it also says in there that
So don't
every
do
day after
anything.
Okay.
5 weeks is $100 a day for raising that building. So we need to get that finished so that we can set it down.
Would you repeat that? Every week?
Every day.
Day?
after-
That's
yeah.
what I thought you said.
Every day after 5 weeks is $100 a day.
How long's it been up?
2 weeks?
Hmm?
2 weeks it's been up?
It was, the second week Wednesday, to look at it, that they left. And that's the date that you got an email from saying.
So tomorrow's 2 weeks.
Okay.
Tomorrow's 2 weeks.
So to me, that's the date, so I'm not too worried about that.
Just hold off.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really don't think they'll do that, but, yeah, we need to get it done, we need to finish.
Budget.
We're good right now, it's off month, so we haven't looked at it too close so far.
I'm sorry, could you say that again, please?
Well, we really just do it quarterly, and the quarter's not up yet, but right now we're on track. And it looks good, nothing to be alarmed about.
Parks.
I talked to Haley Surdell and the girls, they usually do the decorating in the park, we'll be doing that again this year, the day after Thanksgiving. They've got quite a little crew that comes in and they're done within an hour or two. And then they are going to have the Christmas parade December 5th at 6:30. And, they would like to have up to $200 for the lights that they need to, repair and replace, and they will give those, receipts to Janelle. And they said last year it was about 160 they replaced, so it probably won't even be the 200, but in case there's stuff that's burned out, they would like to be able to repair it, so.
So the gazebo doesn't have power, how much power do you need for the decorating?
The gazebo doesn't have power?
No.
Why is that? Is that out because of the
Because
building?
power came off the depot, and that's all disconnected.
We've got another month.
Yeah, it'll be not
Maybe
until
more
the,
than that.
until the end of end
What
of
about-
November before they decorate.
What about the receipts we have on the north side of the park, are those still hot?
Yes.
So you could get power from there.
From there, so we'll just have to let them know.
Plugs by the trees all the way down.
I
Yeah.
think there's one farther down in front of your house.
There's plugs
There's
down
plugs
behind
all the way down
arches.
through there.
So those are all
Arch, yeah, the flag, there's a lot of other plugs out there.
Yeah, hopefully they'll have enough that they can do it.
Should I talk about getting power for Baja for the Christmas parade, for the hot coffee and hot chocolate?
I thought you guys decided to do that over by the pavilion.
But we'd have to use village power.
Oh. For the parade, we are doing the hot chocolate, the Baja is. the library usually does it, but our new manager was overwhelmed. And so Baja has said that they would take over doing the hot chocolate. We'd like to do it in the pavilion. If that's okay, we'll need some electricity. Keep it hot.
I didn't realize that the library does a crafts fair in here before the parade, takes the crafts and hands them out, and then gets people tickets for pizza, and they buy the pizza. And do the hot chocolate. So this new girl is just like, oh my God, I can't do all this. So we're actually talking, I think, Pam talked to Dan about the corner cafe, might get a pizza oven.
They don't have
And
it.
if they do,
We've already got that done.
where's the pizza gonna come from?
The pizza is coming from Pizza Hut, and, we've got someone's husband picking it up.
Okay.
We got a big deal on it, so it's 70% off. So we will be handing out pizza, we do 3 crafts in here, give them pizza, and then we join the parade and hand out bags with crafts in it and candy.
Why did I not know about this?
Yeah.
Every year?
Every year,
How
we've
did
done
I
it
not
for the
know
last
about
4
this?
years.
We've been down here every year and I didn't know.
I didn't
Lord's
know
sakes,
either.
man, I got a 12-year-old. How did I miss that?
I never really had to, we just would always come down to the parade and get in line, you know, and get.
What time does craft start?
Well, we did.
Craft
One
starts-
question about that, is you're not buying the deal.
Yeah,
And I was, I guess, focusing on corner cafe, if they put a pizza up in there, so it's going on.
they don't have to worry about it. Hurry,
Maybe we should,
we got, you know,
okay.
Craft start, what time?
I'm sorry, 5 o'clock.
And was that, I'm sorry, was that the 5th or the 6th? I missed that.
5th.
5th, okay, I did write that down wrong. Go me. 5 o'clock?
Yep.
I'm coming to that.
Freedom Park,
So, we really need to have a motion for the 200,
Yeah.
for the
Oh,
late,
yeah.
yeah.
I'll make
So
the
do you-
motion that we.
I'll second it.
discussion,
$300.
200.
Two?
roll call,
Strong,
Yes.
Crawford.
yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Rankin.
Yes.
Dickerson.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Depot. They were supposed to start on the footings today, they canceled, they were gonna be there Thursday morning. They're supposed to have it ready for inspection by 10 o'clock, so Thursday we can get the footings poured. They're gonna wanna wait a couple days for the footings to set up before they put the wall forms on. If they don't, I'm thinking the beginning of next week, that they'll do the wall forms. Once we get those done, then we've got a lot of stuff to have happen on the inside. And this is their next project, so,
Do you think it'll be down by the time we have a parade?
it's gotta be done by November 14th, cause I'm out of here.
Oh, okay. Good, because then that's, you know,
Yeah,
time for the
you know,
parade, yeah.
We got a week delay for Remington, so they didn't put the sand in when, Joan said she would. Tim said, no, we'll have to do it by the end of next week. I think they got it done Thursday morning. And then they were supposed to have it there today, but it wasn't a really good day, but they could have had it done this morning. Well, that's all I have that, but I do have sewer here. Can I go with sewer? The sewer is on the north side of the depot. And either it goes all the way across the park to the sewer line in front of Gail's house, maybe that manhole down there, or it goes to the septic tank. Nobody seems to remember anybody digging anything across that park. I suggested that we scope it, but that, I mean, take a camera, look down there and see where it goes, that's gonna cost probably $400. Yeah. Or we I just hook it up, at least get a sleeve in the wall and get the sewer before they backfill, the sewer line back into the crawl space of that, at least that much, so that we can hook it up later.
piece to the other one, we'll worry about it after we get this thing.
Well, let's get that so they can backfill and get all that done.
What is the main thing that's gonna happen at the depot once it's reopened? Do we need a bathroom?
No, not really. If it's just a museum, no. You can put a porta john outside. It's not open in the winter months anyway. Couldn't afford to heat it.
If we're gonna rent it out for any type of.
What are we gonna rent it out for?
Well, you could wedding reception or a wedding, we could rent out the park, the pavilion. You know, we've got people who wanna have meetings in there, we should have a bathroom.
Well, people,
Putting the sewer back out and the well is a very low cost. We don't have to install a new sewer system. We don't have to put a new well in. All we gotta is hook up what we have.
Well, and if they go back to what they did in the old days, they had the school kids come down and the ladies worked in there all day and the ladies would need a bath.
Well, and you almost have to have water.
Yeah, water and a.
but it's only gonna be open when it's warm anyway. We aren't gonna
But
have
this was
heat.
open, I mean, this was at Christmas,
They would always bring the school kids
To
down.
Yeah,
see
they would.
the inside of the museum.
They haven't-
It
we
would
haven't
cost
done
us a
that.
couple $100 to heat it for 3 days.
Yeah, it does, it's a big cost in the winter,
There's no
Yeah.
to heat it,
insulation.
yeah.
It's expensive to heat that, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I think we racked up like $400 a month. heating it.
Yeah, during the
I
winter
would
time.
recommend that we heat it, we could do the sewer, and just do it like we did before, be able to drain it. Which is gonna be a lot easier now that we have access to a crawl space. This didn't, well, at least I couldn't access underneath that before. but-
See, and a big part of bringing the kids down was always the wagon rides and stuff too, and we don't have that, access to that anymore
Right.
either, so I don't know that you'd be doing that.
Well, we'll hit the pipe in the wall before they pour it, so we have it, we
Yeah,
just hook it to
in
the
case
pipe
you
that's
need to.
there, and if we decide to scope it later, just hook it up, it doesn't matter, we'll be moving on.
Yeah.
But at least it's in the wall now. Anything else for the depot? Anything else?
I got purchase on here, I don't know what that was for.
Oh, the stakes,
Hmm?
the
Stakes.
stakes
Purchase steak.
for the fence.
For the fence, the stakes for the fence, did you have to buy some?
Yeah, I forgot to bring that, I'll take it, Janelle, I think I had $100 and some for the stakes I bought to put that, snow fence up to keep people out.
Alright, sewer,
I, would like us to purchase some more ferric acid, we're down to 2.5 feet in there, so we're gonna be needing some more,
Did you get a price on it?
I will, yeah. But it needs to be done, what was it last time, like 12,000?
what was it last time?
I don't remember, but it, in May of, 24, we were at 4.6 foot. So you've got some time.
Oh, so we could probably wait till, yeah, so we went down, what, 2 feet in the last year and a half?
Okay.
We'll get some prices on it and see.
Yeah. I'll get some prices.
You want a motion to go ahead with it?
I didn't make a motion, I just wanted to.
Alright.
Yeah. But you know that I'm gonna be looking at it.
Streets,
I'm happy that it looks like we're getting close to finishing everything. Van Buren, what do they have to do yet, Justin?
striping,
We got all your
There's some work.
driveway approaches
yeah,
done,
those are done today.
it's nice.
They have a little bit of work on the corner of,
Van Buren and Romery.
by the block building there, there's some dirt they have to,
Fine.
there's a couple chunks of concrete and then striping.
The gentleman, now, I don't know who he was, he just been sitting out there on the corner in front of the gas station, said that they were doing another layer until they were up to the top of those manholes. But it pretty much looked like they were done.
It's real even when you come across where it was, dug out, so.
You just gotta figure out what they're gonna do with those three
Alan
hanging
Green,
units.
yeah.
that would be
For
good for
now.
somebody's tire.
Probably the village's truck.
That'd be mine.
Alright, ordinance.
It says here we're rescinding another ordinance, we will not be doing that tonight. The new ordinance is the setback ordinance. Do you want me to read it, or?
Everybody got a copy of the setback ordinance in their packet.
What ordinance are you rescinding?
We didn't.
We
We're not
did,
rescinding one.
we didn't rescind one, it's on the agenda, but we're not doing that tonight.
Which ordinance were you gonna rescind?
Sewer, 50,
It's
25.
25, 150, 100 and 150.
Tom, you wrote opinions on the proposal for the setback ordinance.
Are you planning to accept this ordinance now? You have to read it.
Huh?
You do have to read it.
Oh, I do,
Which
okay.
one is it? This one?
You're going to have to read it
Yeah.
2 times, tonight and another time.
So we're reading it tonight, and then according to the book we got from Michigan Municipal League, we vote on it, and we have to put it in the paper. In 15 days from the time we put it in the paper, it becomes an ordinance.
I think that's longer than 15 days because you're charging a penalty. When you do a penalty, you have to wait 30 days.
I'll look in the Michigan Municipal League.
Yeah, look that up because it's longer than 15 days.
Check it out, we can call them tomorrow, and I'll clarify.
Okay, read it tonight. Bloomingdale Building Site and Setback Ordinance. An ordinance to protect the public health, safety, and general welfare by establishing regulations relevant to the building site and setback requirements relating to the village of Bloomingdale, Van Buren County, state of Michigan, and to provide penalties for the violations of the said ordinance, and to repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict thereof. Section 1, this ordinance shall be known as the Bloomingdale Village Building Setback Ordinance. Section 2, definition, building means living structure. Wetlands and streams, area where water saturates the land or covers the soil, supporting plant and animal life. This includes marshes, swamps, and bogs. Section 3, building site minimum setback requirements. A, building. A building shall mean any structure permanent or temporary. B, front setback. No structure shall be nearer than 25 feet from the road right of way. C, side setback. No structure shall be nearer than 10 feet of a side property line except in the case of a corner lot where the side yard on the street side shall not be less than the setback required for the front setback, or no structure on a corner lot shall be nearer than 25 feet from the road right of way. D, rear setback. No living structure shall be nearer than 35 feet from the rear property line. E, detached structures, detached accessory building or structure is required to be a minimum of 3 feet, 0 inches off the rear and side yard back setbacks. A structure is not allowed in an easement. Accessory structures can be no closer than 5 feet to the principal building it serves. F, minimum building site area. No building or living structure shall be less than 1,280 square feet, not including basement on any site or parcel. G, there shall be no more than 1 living structure per lot. Building sites that include wetlands or are adjacent to must be a minimum of 500 feet from the wetlands. Village of Bloomingdale, a Bloomingdale building site setback ordinance amendment. Appeals of this ordinance may be made to the Bloomingdale Village Board if an applicant is denied a building permit. The village board may grant a variance from this ordinance upon showing that, one, that special conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land ordinance. Two, that interpretation of the provisions of the ordinance would deprive applicants the right commonly enjoyed by other singular properties. Or three, that the special conditions and circumstances do not result from actions of the applicant. Four, applicant meets the requirements established by the Van Buren County Health Department, state of Michigan as to water requirements. Section 4, penalty. Any person who violates any of the provisions of this ordinance shall be guilty of a civil infraction. Upon conviction thereof, shall be punished by a fine not to exceed $500 plus court costs. Section 6, severability. The ordinance and its various parts are hereby declared to be severable.
Servable.
Yeah.
Severable.
If any portion of this ordinance is declared to be invalid, such declaration shall not affect the validity of the remainder of the ordinance. Section 7, effective date. This ordinance shall take effect 30 days after publication as required by law. Now, Tom, you had questions.
We have a motion.
Oh,
I'll make a motion that we accept this.
I'll second it.
Now we can have a discussion.
okay. Tom, you had stated in here, why the 25 feet?
Yes.
And checking around its various areas, you know, like we checked, Grand Junction, Bangor, different areas, their setbacks are 25 feet.
Well, we've had 20 feet since 1895 until 1993, when we repealed any setback ordinance whatsoever. That's from 1938 to 1993, this. What benefit are we getting from going to 25 feet besides reducing the size
Because
on a buildable lot?
when we were here, was it last month we presented, and you said that we could not what was it we couldn't do, and then we had to follow the state guidelines? Oh, it was for that variance.
Yeah.
You said we have to build according to, the state, well, the state says 50 feet setback.
No, that's not true. We can set our own setback.
Well, that's what we're doing,
That's what
is
we're
we're
trying to
setting
do.
25.
Because if we don't have a setback ordinance, we have to then follow the state.
If we don't have one, but you're
Right.
trying to establish one.
Right.
My question is, why 25 feet? When most of the houses, if not all the houses, except maybe those on Vandenbrink, we have 2 double lots, are set back 20 feet. And we have structures that are much less than 20 feet. We have 2 that are 0.
Well, we don't, those will be grandfathered in anyway, because they're already there.
Are they, does that say this in here?
No, it does not.
But
Do you think
I
we
would
should do
think
that?
that
Or is
would
this
be
gonna be
on that.
retroactive or not?
You can't
Retroactive.
retroactively.
I mean, the houses are.
Again,
This would
my
be
question
from
is-
now on,
My
from
question
now
is,
on.
no, I understand that. Why make it more restrictive? Because
Why
on a
not?
corner, say a corner lot, there's 3 corner lots that I know of in Bloomingdale. They're only 66 foot wide. A corner lot has 2 fronts, so you're taking off 25 feet, and then you have a 10-foot setback on the side. That leaves on a 66 foot lot, 31 feet buildable. If you can do it, most people I know that I have worked with either get their house plans in a magazine, or one of the last ones I did, he got it from Carter Lumber. And he takes his plans to me, and we look at his lot in Waterloo Township. It doesn't fit. And they would not give a variance. So I have to redesign his plan, costing $3,000. Are you gonna run the risk of having somebody who wants to buy a lot in Bloomingdale and you restricted it, so they only have 31 feet on the corner lot. And are they gonna say,
All they have to do is come in and ask for.
Put in a variance.
so that's arbitrary? That is arbitrary.
That every
Variance for
single
every single person.
ordinance is arbitrary.
How can you give a variance to one person and then not the other? If they have identical circumstances, you give a variance to somebody, but this person wants to build a garage next to somebody and they're opposed, and you don't give them one, you can be sued.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
that-
why when you have a setback,
that-
you stay with it.
Point
You
of
do
order,
not
point
grant
of order.
variances.
Are you talking about
Point of
something
order.
hypothetical that hasn't happened?
Yes.
We're not gonna go into
No.
hypotheticals, go down rabbit trails. We're here to vote on it.
Nothing hypothetical about it.
It's fine.
You also mentioned in here about,
Can I finish my argument?
oh, okay.
I'm telling you about the job I did once. I would have loved an extra 5 feet. Who would have saved that guy $3,000? Not everybody has the benefit, a homeowner, or somebody who wants to buy property, that can have somebody who can draw and redesign his house. Most of them are gonna have to go to an architect. When they look at that, what their architect's gonna cost them to redesign their house to sit on our restricted lot, they're gonna say, screw you, we'll go someplace else. We just missed out on $300,000 taxable property. Taking maybe a $15,000 lot, which we can't even get 15 for, and turning that into a $300,000 tax benefit to the village. Why would you wanna do that?
I'm trying to think of where your corner lots are in
I was
Bloomingdale
gonna
available.
ask that question, yeah.
Where are the corner lots in Bloomingdale available?
I can tell you 3 of them right now.
Where?
We're trying to sell one, okay? That's Oak Street and Pine. There's another one on Oak Street in Spring, and then there's another one on Walnut Street in Cherry. They're 66 foot wide. And you're making an ordinance that restricts how much buildable space there is on there.
Is it just one that you have, or all 3 of those yours?
I didn't
Is
hear-
it just one that you have that you're trying to sell?
Baja,
Baja.
that's who's trying to sell it.
Okay,
Baja actually has 2.
okay.
Terry, could you read the section again about a house setback related to corner lots and corners? I wasn't clear how that fit with this discussion.
A corner lot,
Well, so I'm just asking to hear what the ordinance reads.
I gotta find it a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Side setback, no structure shall be nearer than 10 feet of a side property line except in the case of a corner lot where the side yard on the street side shall not be less than the setback required for the front setback, or no structure on a corner lot shall be nearer than 25 feet from the road right away.
Thank you.
a corner lot has 2 fronts and 2 sides.
Yep.
So if you take a corner lot, this has gotta be 25 feet, this has gotta be 25 feet. And then with the 10 foot on the back, it leaves you 31 feet and 7. An extra 5 feet would be desirable. I think you're restricting it. 5 feet. What's the difference with 5 feet? We can say what we want.
Exactly. What's the difference?
We've had 20
Exactly,
feet.
what's the difference in 5 feet?
If other villages and small towns are doing it.
What's South Haven have? Do they have
Not
20
South
foot?
Haven, we're talking Bangor.
There's
Grand
zoned,
Junction.
Bangor is zoned, Lawrence is zoned, Grand Junction is zoned, Lawton is not, but it's not in Van Buren County. And Lawton has 35 feet, front and side on corner lots.
So can I ask a question, cause you're a builder, right? So what, do you know the size of the lot the Baja's trying to sell? What could be put there? What square footage for a building
The
could be
lots on
put
that side
there?
of the town were, the first, organization of Bloomingdale. Most lots are, pretty much all of them on that side are 66 feet wide,
Yeah, they're tiny.
132 feet deep. we're trying to sell 2 lots. We have to get, they're on one tax ID number now, we
Right.
need to split them.
You,
So we can sell separate lots. We
okay,
actually have 3 lots. The third one is not for sale. But it's 66 feet, and that's all through town. Except some of, my
and-
house sits on 2 lots. Way back from 1800.
okay, people manage to build on these 66-foot square lots, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Most of the houses. in
Already,
town
like
are on-
hundreds of them?
Most of the houses in town are on that size lot.
Okay, alright, that was my question,
Most of the houses in town have a 20-foot setback.
yeah.
So what if your neighbor has a 20-foot setback, you're requiring a 25? Is there any give and take there? Can you, most of these ordinances from these others, they allow you to maybe split the difference? What if you have 2? Can you go 22 and a half?
All what the
That's
building
not
process
written in
for.
here.
That's what a variance is for.
Or again, you're arbitrary.
Like
Either
I
you
said.
write it and you say what you wanna do and you put these provisions in there, or you can be declared arbitrary. What if you don't like that guy? What if it's a bad day for the council? They're tired, they don't wanna go, and they just say no. That's arbitrary. And this book right here speaks about it.
Alright, we're gonna go off point of order.
And you have that in your notes there, Terry, where I showed you out of that book how it's arbitrary.
What's the wish of the council? We have a motion, we have support.
What was that,
Oh.
Justin?
Roll call.
What, on this?
Yes.
No, we've got more to discuss. We're going down through here. Are you done reading?
You also had something on here about the accessory buildings with the fire protection, and you advised us to call the fire chief, we did that. And he said, there is nothing to his knowledge about separation distance for detached buildings as far as fire.
No, that he's mistaken because he doesn't know what this book is. This is our Michigan building code. This is the book that we have established as our building. We used to have building code in here. 93, this was thrown out. At first, we did BOCA, building code. That's been repealed. We have an ordinance that we're using this code for. Section 302 is fire separation. We have to, by law, follow this book. If you're gonna go, you wanna read this? Underneath here, it says you go under 5 feet separation from your property line, you have to have a fire rating on both the outside of that wall and on the inside of the wall. So are you going to include that in your code here, in your setback? Because if you don't, you're violating this code. You can make a separation bigger, but you can't go less than what the code requires. The answer to this is if you go to 5 feet.
So why don't we just use
Just
this?
5 feet, you don't have to do a fire separation. Change the 3 foot to 5 foot, and you're good. Then you're following the code that we've established and how we are gonna build our buildings in this
Let's
village.
follow the township, just go 150-foot road frontage, where you don't build.
No,
The township has nothing to do with the village. We have declared that this book is gonna be,
But we can change that too, correct?
what's that?
We can vote not to follow that and follow something else, correct?
No, you can't. You can't.
It's 5 feet.
You cannot make something
No, we can.
less restrictive.
You said we
than-
ran a vote, we voted on going from Boca to follow the state, correct?
Yes, we're taking this book.
So, we can also vote to not follow the state, go back to Boca or something else?
We're gonna change that ordinance?
I don't know,
That
that's what
ordinance?
I'm asking, is that something that we've already done once or twice?
Why? What book are you gonna follow for your building?
That's what I'm asking first.
If we're going to have inspectors that are licensed by the state of Michigan and are for trades, they have to follow this book. They have to.
What
By
you're,
law, I'm asking.
Tom, what you're saying is that is standards at this year, not BOCA in the past, that is standards to Michigan.
This is what we said, this is
Okay.
actually the 2009 edition, I have the 2015 at home.
Okay,
The 2021 will come out for maybe 3 years.
okay,
The 2015 says the very same thing.
okay, I think that's just what they were asking, if there was,
I don't understand why all you gotta do is go to 5 feet. And you satisfy this code.
We need a motion to amend it to 5 feet.
I'll make a motion to amend it to 5 feet.
Got people
I'll
asking
second.
questions.
Got a question. I was late to the meeting because I had to work.
Damn
With-
work.
I know. Shit, stuff.
Here's 305.
With the, huh?
Here's 305 North Van Buren.
Me?
Yeah. No? Okay.
I'm the corner, I work over at the
Oh,
corner
okay.
cafe. No, I'm not 305, wherever
Okay.
it is.
Luann did.
Oh, okay.
I was just wondering, like I live on Three-Legged Lake, and I have 4 lots. According to your standards, I cannot put a tiny house up for my mother-in-law.
That's
That's
township.
not the village.
That's township, not
That's
village.
township, this is just village.
Yeah.
Where's village?
Bye.
What am I doing?
Have a good night.
I will talk to you all later, I don't have
Crack
to
me
answer
up.
this stuff.
Hey, you gotta, you do your due
Well,
diligence.
you know, I had to check, I thought.
Preach,
this was
sister, that's why I'm here.
township, so.
To give you an example.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night's township.
Oh, it was last week.
Wait, it was last week?
Point of order.
Oh, you're right, sorry.
Come on.
No.
To give you an example, how you can be
19th. Well, maybe I
more
just have to work
restrictive
and come in
and
more.
satisfy this code.
I
And
can
on
get you a
this
copy
page
of our
right here,
ordinance, go ahead.
It
I can get
says
you a copy of our ordinance.
setback distances between primary residence and accessory structure on the same piece of property, there's no limit. You can go down to 2 foot, you can go on 5 foot, okay, that's more than what, that's good, that satisfies the fire code that I see here, separation, you're gonna change it to 5. I'm okay with the, which one is that, which one is that? It's a dot below E. Yeah.
Accessory structures must be no closer than 5 feet to the principal building it serves.
And see, there is no code that says there's a minimum space for that, if it's on the same lot. That's reading from our code. This is our Bible. This is our.
So, that one's fine then. We don't have
That's
to-
fine, I'm okay with that. Did you want something more to say, or do you want me to go down my list? I question the minimum building site area, you said it doesn't include basement. Why? This book allows living space in basements.
Why don't we allow it for single wides or double wides? Why is it different?
Well, those satisfy a different code, because those come in with their own okay stamp on it. You know, all the building official has to do is okay the footings,
So
foundation.
if somebody wants to put a smaller than 1,280 square foot modular on a basement, but we require that modular to be 1,280 square feet.
Why?
Because that's what our,
I've been in a lot of modulars that have full finished basement, that are acceptable living space. So, and you're not gonna find a modular that's only, you say you split the 1,280, it's 640 square feet, they're not made. So I don't know what your
but
concern is.
mobile homes are.
Huh?
Mobile homes are, and it's mobile home, not modular.
You have,
Or- Yeah, but I mean, it's mobile homes and they are made smaller than the 12 by 80. And that was made bigger in the 80s. One of our ordinances was changed in the 80s or 90s to make it where it was 1,280 square feet.
So, you're gonna, say your first floor, you're gonna have to have 1,280 square feet, that means you're gonna have 1,280 square feet of foundation.
You
Or
do
for a,
two
you do for
stories.
a,
Or you do a two-story.
Two-story.
Okay, so you're 640 foundation, why doesn't that foundation count as part of the 640? So you're talking about your 640, you're gonna have to do a basement, foundation crawl space, and then 2 stories on top of that. Why can't you have a basement that's 640 square feet and the first floor on top of that? The basement is absolutely livable.
It's whatever.
Why are you
the
limiting
council
that?
Right.
It's water table in Bloomingdale.
Okay, you know what this code says, the water table?
No, because I don't have one of those.
It's interesting because we started building houses probably before 1895. This came out in 1938, and they said if you're gonna have a habitable basement, it had to be a daylight basement. It had to be half up because they realized that we had a high water table. And I don't see that included anywhere in what you're proposing.
Well, we don't have to follow what they did in 1935. Now we have tiles.
I mean,
posts.
this was done when the basements were out of stone. We don't have that problem. I'm not saying that there isn't gonna be a water problem when somebody puts a full basement. We do have a high water table. That's something you could add, okay? If you're gonna have a living space, you're gonna have to have a habitable living space, make it a daylight. So they're lifting that up out of the water.
You can use Shirley Noble's house as an example. She's had water in her basement forever.
I don't think there's a full basement that was built before 1950 that doesn't have water in the basement.
Mine.
They all have water.
Ours doesn't.
You're way outside of town.
We're in the village and we
That's
were built
right.
before 1950. So the point being.
You're not here where we have
But the
three-
point being,
three
Tom,
creeks running through this
that
town.
you can't ever,
You
do
can't s-
global statements. It just doesn't work. You're always
So-
gonna have exceptions.
So you think that the basement should be included in the total living feet, right? Does that mean that, like, I'm not a builder, does that mean that you need to be able to live in the basement? Because I don't know that any of them here are livable, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
So you're looking at it like okay, I'm gonna see where your point goes. I already saw where you went next, so.
He's talking about putting a house so that it's not a basement, half of the basement, you only got about
Right.
4 foot in the ground and the other 4
Right,
foot above ground.
right, a daylight,
Yes.
yes, yeah, like, with the recessed windows or whatever, is that so that the
Those
square?
windows will actually be exposed.
Is that so that the square footage can be like way smaller and you can include the basement and fit it in the ordinance
You're making the
requirements?
You're making up at least the 1280 square footage. I'm not
Right.
arguing with the 1280 square footage. That's good. Most houses, how many square feet? I don't think I have 1200 square feet in my house. You're talking about 1280. Okay. My point is, why aren't we including a livable basement?
Are any
Now
of
you-
them livable? Is it really gonna be livable? It would be above ground? I mean, I guess, yeah, I
We're
don't
talking
know.
new construction.
I guess, yeah.
Would it be finished?
Well, yeah.
Require it to be finished?
That's what I'm curious, that's what I'm asking, is this gonna,
You have to even have that on there.
No. Alright, next.
Tim?
I was just curious, ask Barb, what, you're a realtor, what's the basement gotta be to include it in the square footage of a home? I'm just curious,
Finished?
you know what I mean?
yeah, and do you wanna deal with all of
It has
that?
to be finished. You said,
And have fire escapes.
Yeah,
Egress.
okay, yeah.
Which is what this 4 foot daylight basement solves. It solves all your egress problems.
So there'd be some kind of a hatch.
Well, there's an open window.
Oh, an open
The windows
window,
at
yeah.
waist height.
Yeah.
Your windows are at waist height.
Alright, what's your next one?
Okay, about, section 3G, there will be, no more than one living structure per lot. You can't do that with setback ordinance, that's a zoning issue. If somebody wanted to buy a lot, you know, they can put a tire shop on it. What about a duplex, triplex, quad,
It's
or an
a,
apartment?
it's
not a
one
living-
living structure.
No,
You can have a duplex, but you could, it's still one living
They're together.
structure.
It can be a tire shop.
what if
It can be-
you gotta write that in, that
No, you don't have to.
multifamily is,
No,
okay.
you don't have to, it's one living structure. You can have 4 or 5 apartments in one living structure.
Okay, so quads are all set, we can do that.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're, even that,
Setback requirements.
you are confusing setback ordinance with the zoning ordinance. What if somebody wanted to put a tire shop?
It's not a living structure, is it?
Hmm?
It's
Not a
not a
living
living
structure, is it?
structure.
That's zoning.
We're not zoned.
That's zoning.
We're not zoned, and that's why we put this in there.
Zoning is a whole different act. Zoning is more than just, we're
Well,
gonna vote on this.
we are not-
Because that is,
We are not zoned, and we need to have it so that we know this is what we can have, this is what you can have.
then do a zoning ordinance.
We don't want zoning.
Point of order, what's your
Then
next
you
one?
can't do this, if you don't have zoning,
We're
you
gonna-
can't, you can say, alright, you can build within these boundaries. And you can say, this is how you can build, but you cannot say with a setback ordinance, this is how it can be used.
You need proper regulatory framework for that kind of a
Correct.
discussion.
So
And
with,
it's a
let me
whole
ask,
separate act.
Zoning.
To do zoning in a
Go
village,
now, and we'll.
and you're not doing it. That has to be struck.
I just wondered then if with these other, towns that you checked with on their zoning ordinance, I'm sorry, their setback ordinance. And I think you said most of them were not zoned, but they have a setback ordinance.
Some of them are.
Correct.
We're zoned.
Almost all of them are zoned, there's only a couple that aren't, in Van Buren County.
But they have
Bloomingdale
their
and
setback
Hamilton,
ordinance.
Hamilton is getting zoned, that's
Um,
coming to fruition real quick.
And, Lawton was the only one that I looked up that wasn't a zoned, and they had setbacks bigger than ours. And they had living structures and, accessory buildings and stuff like that. And that's
But
where
they're
I
not.
got a lot of the
Is that
stuff,
their zoning ordinance?
was from other ordinances.
We're confusing setback ordinance with zoning. Zoning
It
is,
sounded like it.
how can you use that property?
Alright, Tom, you make your point on this one, what's your next one?
Okay, last one. Your 500-foot setback from wetlands. Okay, so, question for Terry. Within that 500-foot setback from what wetlands are we protecting?
I pretty much assume anything on the federal protected wetland site, it
No.
covers every state.
We don't have any protected wetlands. Here's a map of the wetlands we have. Bloomingdale's in the center. All these, they're only on the national wetlands list. And they're protected by state law, and they're also protected by county drain commissioner. This is their ordinance.
County Drain Commission regulates
As
those,
this. This
those
is what it
wetlands.
is.
Only the wetlands, not
This is
property
their
outside.
ordinance protecting wetlands. It does not prohibit, here's the permit form to do, I've done many of these for wetlands. Anytime you build by house, within 500 feet, you gotta do this.
Isn't
Okay,
Van Horn's house
they-
on a wetland? Don't they have wetlands?
What's that?
Doesn't Nelda Van Horn's house have wetlands?
Yeah, she's right,
Most of it.
she's probably right there. You're talking about Bob's spot, it should be up here somewhere, I don't see it. This all down here is the, village property. This is Haven Drain through here. Which one are you trying to protect, all of them?
Yeah.
I would think all of them.
Okay, so,
What if that, the property north of town, it's 27 acres, gets sold. We want 25 houses going in there and people filling in the stumps. and everything else.
27, what, north of town?
No,
No,
Van Horn's spot for sale.
But if they're not wetlands, there's nothing you can
Oh,
do
it
about
is, they're on the map.
Okay, well then the county regulates that during commission, correct?
Well,
That's what you're stating, right?
that's the state and
Okay.
county.
So you don't need to, I think is what he's
Why,
saying.
why would we not want to if they do?
Because they are.
Because they already are.
So why would it hurt to be in ours?
You don't need it. Because if the county says that they can, then they can.
Wouldn't they be more qualified to make that call as opposed to this board?
I mean, I think it opens you up for legal. Okay. That's just my
Here's my question.
rudimentary take on
for
it.
Terry. What activities would be permitted in that 500 feet? I've got two brothers that have farmland down here. Are you going to permit them to keep farming? Plow a field right up next to the creek?
Their grandfather.
Well, no, it's permitted. It's permitted by the county as long as they follow. Okay, how about,
Does it mention farming or tilling or plowing in here?
no, it's not.
I got a friend.
Okay, so wouldn't you think farming is much more
But we're not talking
earth
farming.
change
We're talking
removal
about
than,
building homes,
than,
building structures.
so what are you doing? You're discriminating, and there is wording in here about making an ordinance discriminatory. You're discriminating against putting a house on 500 foot when it's already permitted by the county. If you do a permit and you do it like they said, you're discriminating. Again, you're getting into zoning. They're not putting, you're saying, no, you can own, you're discriminating against building a house. And that's land use and that's zoning. You cannot do that with this red.
It's pretty comprehensive what the county regulates, and like I have a friend who owns a farm around the corner on 28th, and he unknowingly purchased some acreage, and part of it is not buildable because it's wetlands. I mean, it's wetlands. They cannot move dirt. So, I mean,
Well, you know,
but you don't want them to be able to build within 500 feet, is that what we're saying?
Yeah, that's a state law,
it's
actually.
discriminatory.
Is it a state law?
Everything else is allowed. Okay, we've got a
Is it?
drain that goes across my.
Maybe you should have wording
It
in there
starts from
then,
Monroe
that says,
and Walnut Street, and it
It's a
goes
state
down
law.
across there. A lot of times that
I
needs to be
mean,
replaced.
to
Are you
take the
going to
liability
allow
from the
us,
village.
Somebody go on there and do earth move down there?
We didn't say in here we're not.
The county drain commissioner would manage that.
Sometimes, but you're saying either.
What
I'm
I'm
saying,
saying on the drain?
you allow that, but you won't allow a house. You're being discriminatory and you're doing zoning.
Well, are they being discriminatory when they don't let anybody have chickens or cows or anything in town but your family?
I don't know that they're being discriminatory, they're making some regulations that might need a little bit more talking. That's what everybody's here for, right?
They are being discriminatory and they're refusing
They're,
setbacks.
discrimination means you can build, but they can't. That's, I mean, I know what you're saying, but does somebody own property that's like, is this targeting?
That whole 27 acres of it gets sold and broke up, I mean, there's a lot of wet areas around this town.
Yeah, but you're not saying that guy can't build there.
No.
You're saying nobody, that's not discriminatory. And I mean, maybe some more discussion needs to be had and a little bit more investigation and maybe a little bit more studying. Maybe it's overreach, but it's not necessarily discriminatory.
No,
They're
it
not
is.
saying, well, Tom, you can't build there,
It
but
is.
we're gonna let Gail do it.
They're doing exactly that.
No, they're not. It does not, there's no language that says that, Tom. I think you're.
Point of order, was that your last?
You got two issues here that are zoning issues. You can't pass these. They have to be struck from this here.
I don't believe they're going to be, but that's up to the council. We have a motion, we have support. Do we have any more discussion?
I think there's a motion that this should be rewritten to include some of this discussion.
Did somebody make that motion?
It's too many changes,
Did somebody make
too
that
many
motion?
questions.
There was an amendment made.
Yes.
So
to-
to
to
change
5
that to
feet.
5 feet, yeah, the 3 feet to
Yeah.
5 feet.
For the fire,
For
right,
fire,
yeah,
yeah.
which I, yeah.
We have to rewrite this, bring it to another meeting, reread it, so that everybody agrees to what you've done. You can't just do it by, well, we're gonna change this. It needs to be whole and complete and rebring it. This needs to be tabled.
You can do it, if you choose to keep all that stuff in there, and next time we'll, based on the council decision, somebody who got motion support, we can vote then. That will be on the agenda at the November meeting. Alright. Unfinished business, contract with HVAC company for services.
So you have in your packets from Fields and Fleetwoods, I did, get another quote from Matt on Mechanical. However, I have been in correspondence with them about 4 times now for them to revise their estimate because they put down 2 machine, package units in the back, we have 3. I haven't heard back from them in the past week and a half. I emailed them again today, hoping I would get something, and nothing. Fields, for the first packet, they're stapled together, did you find them? Yeah? Okay. So the first one starts at $16.50, and he goes over some of the stuff he's gonna do the first time maintenance, includes 1 AC tune-up and 1 heating tune-up, no, after-hour rates and emergencies for them, and he said that one does not include the filters, so we would still have to purchase all the filters for that one. The 1861, same thing, and they add in the standalone, dehumidifier maintenance on that one. No furnace filters, and the last one, the 271651, is the filters that they will replace 2 times a year, the standalone humidifier, and the maintenance of the package units in the back.
And then Fleetwood's is all of
Yes.
that one.
Yep.
What's,
For Fleetwoods, theirs is for 3 package units and a dehumidifier 2 times a year for $398. And then if they wanted to come out 4 times a year, it is the $698. And they go over everything they go through on there.
so they'd be changing all the filters 4 times a year.
Which you don't necessarily have to do, really 2 times a year, but yeah. Just,
They look pretty bad after 2 times a year.
Motion, we accept Fleetwood's.
A second.
With the 4 times.
The 4 times.
Motion, we have support, discussion.
Good for you.
No, I didn't, they should.
who's second?
I did.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Strong,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Rankin,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes.
Empson, Simpson.
Yes.
Get the right text.
Alright. New business, FOIA and excessive requests.
I've been working with Janelle, and she's been getting a lot of the FOIA requests, and they are excessive. And so I've been researching, and I think Western University was a good example. They have a coordinator, which Janelle is not a coordinator, she's our clerk. if we had someone to, receive the request and decide, because there's actually wording in the law that says if it's excessive or unreasonable interference with the discharge of the functions, which it does interfere with a lot of Janelle's work. There's a better word here that can use. Burdensome and vexatious. So we had someone to go over that, and Gail cited some stuff she was reading about if Janelle doesn't have access to it, she's not required by law to furnish it. And so if we had someone to help interpret the law and what we have to do, we could save a lot of Janelle's time. We've got, and in that way, the person requesting would go through our coordinator instead of Janelle. And then the coordinator would say, Janelle, we need you to furnish this, and to Melissa, we need you to furnish this. And I think it would run smoother if we could do that. And, we have pages and pages of requests that she's filled so far this year, and she's been told there's going to be a lot more. So we need to set up to be ready to be efficient with them, that's all. And not waste our time and.
Do you have any idea about, well, we don't ever know how many requests we're gonna have, so what the amount of time that person would have?
Oh, I've been, like Janelle and I on the last one, I went and worked with her, and we worked all morning, didn't we? And then we charged for half that time. And it's a lot of digging, a lot of copying, and some of it, if we knew better, we would say, oh, we don't have access to that, instead of, she's pulling around trying to find it, and she calls Steve, she calls the auditors, and we just need to kind of all get on the same page and make it more efficient, because there are lots more coming for whatever reason.
I make the motion, Robin Emerson becomes our FOIA coordinator.
Second.
What's the motion?
That
Robin to
Robin-
become our FOIA coordinator. She'll tell Melissa what she needs, Janelle what she needs.
How many years do you have to go back? I mean,
Robin is.
It's reasonable
Deputy-
expectation.
Deputy Clerk.
well, why I'm saying that is all the stuff still here from
No.
40 years ago?
No.
No, so, why would anybody even do
Like,
anything?
here's an example on our next request that she'll be getting formally. They want 12 or 13 years worth of general ledgers, which we don't have. And if we have to go through the auditor, they will probably charge us to get that information. Then we need to know, so can we pass that cost on? We need to know what our rights are.
If the records aren't available, you just say they're not available.
NA.
They're,
N/A.
You can't make up something that you don't have.
Yes, and we don't have a lot.
No, I would say the last 20 years would be about all you'd have.
And
wouldn't
she
it?
doesn't even have that.
No?
She doesn't. So they've changed computer systems and
Yeah,
stuff, and,
and what do they do with it? What do you do with it? You don't keep it all that time.
yeah, so.
Just like your taxes, what is it, 7 years?
It's 7, but
I
in
know,
some
I'm just waiting,
cases,
everybody's talking.
if they do an audit, they can actually go back even further. As
Second
far as
that.
they can.
I did.
First,
I just want to say, because I'm the one emailing Janelle, I did provide some outlines as far as how you can respond if you don't find the information. And I have been trying to email with you because there was the conversation about, the FOIA requests are coming in, you're under a deadline, it puts undue stress on you. I don't want that. That's why I've been trying to communicate with you ahead of time and not calling it an official FOIA request. So, and I did come in and talk with you about these issues to try to hopefully alleviate any stress. But yeah, there's clear guidelines for how you can respond to that stuff. If there are costs that are associated with pulling that stuff up, yeah, you pass that on. That's all part of the FOIA stuff.
But instead of going to Janelle all the time, go to the other coordinator.
I'm in support of that idea. That's great. I was just told that Janelle was the coordinator.
No,
So if there's not a coordinator, I think it's.
I assumed the position, so
Right,
yeah.
so you tell me who you guys want to be the FOIA
She
coordinator.
did not have to deal with it all.
And I appreciate not the timelines on it, but when I'm only in the office 2 days a week, that's the only time I really have time to work on it, and I'm already bogged down by the other stuff that's been missing for a week till I'm back in the office, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to encourage open communication so that I'm not just dumping FOIA requests on you.
And I appreciate that.
So I do wanna express that we're trying to communicate in that regard.
And all of our meetings are open to the public, so I think we are transparent. And every person on here is doing the best they can and doing it honestly.
And you shouldn't be working for free. If you spent 6 hours on that, I'm sorry, you spent 6 hours on it, I guess
I'm
I
willing to
guess
pay.
we're
Some things are
going to
chargeable and
pay.
some things are not.
Anyway.
If he's willing to pay, you can't say no.
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
it's law.
Somebody has to.
Someone does a
Schedule
FOIA
are
request,
forever, some are
you tell
6
them how
years,
much
some
it's
are 8
gonna cost.
All right,
Yeah.
point of
years.
order.
Good retention schedule.
Roll call, please.
Strong,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Rankin,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
All right, new cleaning service. Notified we will need to be looking for a new cleaning service. I sat down with Matt, he's gonna start reaching out. I think they're gonna put an ad in, but they're gonna start looking for a new cleaning service for us.
So are we putting it in, or the township?
Township
putting it in,
is.
Or is it dual ad? Is this for the, township's paying half of this, correct?
Yeah, well, yeah, library's paying their share.
Is it just a once a week cleaning service?
No, it's twice.
Twice a week?
And what kind of insurance are they asking for?
Most, you have to have like a surety bond, and that's mainly because this is a government building. There are
Surety
a
bond.
surety bond.
have you guys gotten any bids thus far?
We just had our meeting last week and,
And our opinions on equipment.
No, they're gonna do it until,
yeah, we're gonna do it until we find somebody, but Kristen and I are tired, and I work 2 jobs, I'm at like 74, 75 hours a week, I'm tired.
You might check out.
You guys have a surety?
Yeah.
I have to have a surety bond or something, but
Okay, yeah, I don't know what it is, so that's why I
they're
was
to
gonna.
be the clerk.
I
Coastal.
actually, yeah.
Coastal.
I thought you said Southfield cleaning service too.
All right, next over,
Love it.
I've done for
We're
my
Love
gonna
it.
need to get some
You're
bids
getting you guys cheap
for
man.
when they're complete, the
No,
park
no.
restoration that wasn't in the original bid.
No.
Driven those low boys and tractors and dozers, that park is in bad shape.
It's a mess.
We're probably getting another $10,000 to fix the park when we're done. So we won't know the scope of what's left to do until they get done, so it's gonna be springtime. I would not expect that park to be in pretty shape
I would
by
wait,
the parade.
I would wait until Remingtons are done,
They have to wait till everything, and then we're gonna have to put it out for bid.
the dirt's gone out of there.
That's what he just said.
Hmm?
That's what he just said.
Okay,
Maybe they were scared away the moles that are embedded now.
can we discuss where the dirt's going? I don't see where you're gonna put it up on Rocky Road. You're going to, cause you marked a 500-foot setback.
It's over 500 foot.
Okay,
Or we can always put a silt fence up too, so.
I think John Kelly was right a little while ago. I think underneath that building was Killefer's first store. Because the brick debris, the stuff we got from, that they dug out from underneath there, something was there prior. And Killefer's first store, what's his first name? You mentioned.
Yeah, the one that went at Buren.
Henry
Yeah.
Killiford,
Yeah, yeah.
the 1853.
Also, there's a lot of concrete, and I pumped out water, yesterday. There's oil sheen on the water. So that was owned by an oil company for a while, so I don't know what was dumped there. I think it's contaminated, I would not put it on our property. If we got a guy by the name of Don Henry out here who wants to put in some pond, I think we should oblige him.
I'd gladly give it to him, he's just,
He doesn't
As
have
long
any way
as-
to haul it, that was
No,
what he
as
wanted,
long
he
as,
wanted us.
as long as he
We
was
would
willing.
have to, we've already got a price on hauling it from there to Rocky Road. But the problem I have is that Waterways, rather than doing a 3-foot opening, did an 8-foot opening. I understood they were gonna do their cribbing on top of the soil that was there, and instead they dug it out and put the cribbing down lower. So we have, rather than 275 yards out of there, more like 500. And I would hate to see us put that up there on that property and have debris and oil, whatever, run down into the low ground we got there.
So if Don gets it, how would, he would have to have it moved?
He's
correct?
told me he would just, and I haven't gone to look at his house, I don't know, but we wouldn't have to put it in the pond, it's just to give him a big pile.
Yeah, but he, when I talked to him, he
Oh,
didn't
you
have.
talked to him too?
Yeah, he's been to my house about it too.
He went to Remington's too.
Oh,
but
did he?
gets
Well,
it.
he wants it real bad.
Oh.
But he didn't have a way to move it. That was the issue that I.
So is
that
he
I
willing to
understood.
pay, to get the dirt for free, is he willing to pay to have Remington?
That's what I'll find out.
Pay the full cost of moving it, so then we just save
Yeah.
that $1,500
I
Yeah.
would get a cost difference from Remington's, from them moving it up there, or how much more it's gonna be, and see if he'll pay the difference.
No.
Yeah, if he wants it, he should pay for it. Maybe he would even have somebody he knows that he could have move it, rather than Remington's. He
But
shouldn't
then
have
you
to
guys
pay
are paying to
for
move it twice. So
Yeah.
you're gonna pay to move it down there, and then you're gonna pay to move it
We're
up.
not gonna pay to
From
move
the
it,
his house.
instead of us paying anything, he's gonna pay the cost of moving it to his.
That's if Don buys it.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, you're gonna be stuck with it, right? And you're gonna put it down there, and if it leaks oil, it leaks
Well,
oil.
if anybody remembers this road they dug out here, and we got called on the DEQ probably 5 times, we paid thousands of dollars to have that tested, and that stuff was black.
Yeah.
And they had no problem with any of that dirt, we had to send them out there where it was dumped, we had to send it down here, that stuff was black.
Well, Tom,
And
didn't
it's stunk.
you have something checked? I thought we had to have something checked before we could do any of that stuff.
We had a
The
soil
check.
sample.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was there anything in the soil
Well,
sample?
you know, without getting underneath there and testing it, who knows, I had no idea that we would have, we were surprised to find bricks, fire bricks.
There's a
all
couple
kinds of-
fires, there's a couple of fires buried in there. And if you guys remember, all you old Bloomingdale people, where the Family Dollar was a ravine. And that ravine came right across the road, I guarantee it came right through the derrick, and I think it stopped right about halfway through the depot. And they just started filling, because when you look at that fill on that south side of the depot, it is completely garbage. There's not any solid soil in there, it's clinkers and burnt char and coal.
A lot of cinders,
Yep, it's garbage.
clinkers from the
Same thing
when we did
beam repair.
I recommend giving him,
Solid.
so we don't have a headache.
He doesn't want a lot of it. He just has like, I had a big cistern he wants that, and he's only gonna
He
take.
told me he had a pond that his dad built,
Oh, so he's gonna
that's
put it in
30
the whole
feet
time?
deep, and he
Oh,
wants
okay.
to fill it.
When I
And
talked
he
to him,
told
I
me
thought,
we did not have to take it and put it in the, we
Point
could
of
put it
order,
here and
let's
he
get
would.
back on track, it's getting late, roof over ferret tank.
I know when I first got on the board, it was stated that we had to get one, and we still haven't gotten it, correct? I'm having my house roof done, and I can check with, the company. And have them check it and
Yeah, cause we don't have.
and you want metal, correct?
The ferret tank down to the
The
sewer.
building
line.
behind our,
It's got a roof over top.
behind our barn now.
4 or 5 years ago, I started.
So this is the ferret,
That's the ferret.
not the ferret.
So yeah, if you would get a bid.
Not ferret, like the pet ferret.
Is that you?
I thought it was a ferret tank.
Next up is enforcement officer.
We have ferret.
He said we got ferret tank, doesn't it?
Different board members have talked to me about talking to Michigan Township Services as far as, enforcement officer for blight. I checked with them, they're not taking any new clients for that. And I also checked, they gave me the prices for, building inspectors, and they take 90% of the permit fees.
The last guy was taking 100, so we're doing good at 90.
Yeah, so, that was just the information I got, but we did not for blight enforcement.
Did they give you any hints of who else you could?
No.
Well, I can tell you, I've dealt many times with Michigan Township Services, and they're awful to deal with. That's why we got rid of them.
I thought they were wonderful, and I
Did
remember
ya?
after I
Yeah.
worked for them.
Well, we did on 3 houses here in town, and we had nothing but trouble with them.
I didn't have any problems.
Was it your house?
So the suggestion was to hire a building inspector to be our enforcement officer? Is that what you're saying?
Michigan Township Services, according to their ad, so they offer, building inspectors and stuff.
enforce their-
Yeah, and then they also, have enforcement for blight. They currently do not have, availability for the blight.
Do you have any idea what their enforcement consists of?
Doesn't matter.
Cause if it was a matter where they just simply contacted the sheriff's department again or something, you know. So I'm just curious to what it would actually consist of.
I don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was just kind of an email type thing, and
Yeah.
I tried calling and, the girl just said, I'll email you, so that's what she did.
Alright, due to our attorney running for state senate, they're gonna be looking for a new one. I'm gonna be going up to Grand Rapids to meet, who's that wrote our sewer ordinance, Steve?
Micah Meyer.
Micah Meyer, kind of done with dealing with local, small town people, we need a big attorney with more than one municipal junior partner. We need a team of attorneys. Obviously, things are gonna get litigious around here, so we just need to make sure we're covered.
Are you considering that, you're not gonna use Chris or Alice? Or is that-
He's running
He's
for
running for
state
state
representative.
Running for state representative?
Yeah.
State
But
senate.
you wanna use the
Senate.
one in Grand Rapids?
Well,
He wants to check with him.
I
He wants to
gotta
check
go
with
meet
him.
with them.
They're the premier municipal lawyer in the state. They're
Yep.
going to be very, very expensive.
Yep, but they'll be worth every penny.
Is that when we had them before?
Yep. They wrote the sewer ordinance.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Doesn't mean I'm saying we're getting them, I'd like to meet with them. We need to have a good attorney. We've had country attorneys for, they don't work real well, sometimes they work, but we need somebody who knows. We want a shark, we want the best.
Have you gotten any other prices?
Haven't been anywhere yet, I wanna meet that
Well,
attorney.
then Canfield tells us that
I will probably go to them next, but I'm starting with the best. Next up, parking along Cherry Street by the school.
The area, that first block where the crossing guard is up to the Christian church. Parents come along, cause they seem to, even though we have a new parking lot and stuff, they refuse to go into that parking lot. So they're picking up their kids along that sidewalk there where that apartment building is, there, that big house. And a lot of those people are trucks, so I'm figuring that, you know, a truck in that parking lot at the school, it would be cumbersome, but, then we also have residents who are parking on the road. So you have a car parked here and you have 3 trucks here. Is everything I can do to get my van through there. Last week, there was a big truck, it was, had dualies on it. He tried to get through, he could not get through, so he had to back up. Now, there's a ton of kids running along that sidewalk, cause there's a lot of parents down at Christian church picking up their kids. Somebody's gonna end up getting hurt if we don't put no parking on one side or the other.
I think we also need to address that with the school.
I think we do too.
Yeah, that's right, school should be.
I did send, Dean Henry down there to mow around the one corner lot because it was so overgrown, you couldn't see to even come around the corner. And I sent him down there to talk to the lady, and he took his mower and mowed it. So she is out of town, I'm waiting for her to get back, so I can tell her what happened, but, he was really good, and he said he does mow for her once a year down there, and he hadn't done it, so he cleaned that corner out. But we were coming through there the other day, and the little kids running around the vehicles down there, and they were little, they were probably kindergarten, first grade, ran right out in the road in front of us. The parents are standing chit-chatting, and the kids are just to go into town, and it's a very, very dangerous situation, but it does have to be addressed with the school, I believe.
There's a lot of impatient parents that
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait in line.
Sounds like the parents need to,
Yeah,
sounds like
I
the
mean,
parents
I
are
think
the problem.
school needs to
Yeah.
send out some
Yeah.
kind of a letter to the parents too, I don't think we can just be the only ones trying to fix it. But there does need to be signage on the one side too, maybe.
No parking.
Are these people allowed to park on the road?
I think it's nuts.
Except for winter time between 2 AM and 6
Cause
AM.
like where Tom is, there's a red car, but that's parked over in the easement area on the grass. These cars are parked right
Right in the road.
And
Yeah.
not necessarily up next to.
They've been doing that
grass road.
forever, because
Yeah,
when I
it's getting
picked
worse.
Dylan up down there were always a couple cars, but
It's
I
getting
would
worse.
imagine now it's, people
And they
just
have-
need to get in line and get their
Right,
kid.
and they have built, now part of the school project was making a bigger parking lot there and stuff, so they need to,
It was a.
They're just lazy, they don't wanna wait.
they need to get in there. and
Maybe
use
if the
it a
school
little more.
refused to walk those kids across the street, or
Well,
let them,
You can't really do that.
well, I mean,
You gotta,
You have to make,
you have to make it.
Yeah.
who's
Make it
releasing
safe.
little tiny kids to be running in the middle of the road? Are they
Well,
getting,
I
the
don't know.
parents are
Their-
getting
Their
there?
parents
All
are
right.
right there in the vehicles,
Yeah.
and the kids are
Good
running all
parents.
around and on the
Good
road,
parenting.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's just, it's a bad situation, and we sure don't want something
And
to
some of
happen.
those parents get out of the vehicle and do walk up to the school
Yeah.
and stand there.
But, and
get
it's
their
not
kid and
all of
walk
them,
back.
it's a few, but we
Were they
need to make it
parked on the
safe.
Were they parked on the road?
Yeah.
Well, we can look into that, get some no parking signs for one side.
One side, I don't know, yeah.
But,
But the school needs to be participating in this too, to let the parents know that the kids are their responsibility. And they, you know, if they choose to pick them up down there, they better kinda watch it.
oh, they're
and
not
stuff. We
gonna
don't
though,
want
they're not
something-
gonna, yeah,
Well,
you
but,
could, you
know,
could smack them and they
The school needs
won't.
to enforce some of
Yeah.
that too.
Isn't there a stop sign there?
Yeah.
And they're
well,
parking right on top of it,
Yeah,
right,
right
which
on
is
top of it.
definitely ticketable.
Yeah. And they're
By
on
Michigan law.
all the corners.
Was it 30 feet from a stop sign? I can't remember. I mean,
They don't care, they don't give tickets.
well,
Is
That-
is that road, like, people who live on that road able to park on the sides?
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
some of them are,
That's part of
yes.
the problem, they've got
Yes.
their cars in the road too.
But the school
But-
has in the past sent out a procedure on how to pick your kids up at the school, and
Which is they need to do
evidently they need to do it again.
people can park on the edge of any road, except for certain months out of the year, from 2 AM to 6 AM. So unless we're gonna do a blanket ban, we cannot discriminate against certain houses that can't park in front
but
of them.
definitely not a certain distance from stop signs, you got them there.
But we gotta get the cops involved, and after.
But you know,
now-
maybe.
I know, I don't know what they're doing.
These
That dude
people
told me
have
he doesn't like,
driveways that are parking in the road, maybe a knock on a door and just,
Yep.
you know,
Do that.
say, we're worried about the kids, you know, put your car in the driveway.
Yep, let's look into it. Public comment.
then one more car will park there.
I have a public comment. I'd like to just implore this board to really look into these ordinances for the village that you're talking about on your setbacks, because you guys are stagnant as far as any building going on in this town, and anything you guys do to deter that is I don't know where it's gonna help you, but costs are rising everywhere. If you guys don't get some new structures or some remodeled structures in this town, it's gonna become part of the township, I'm sorry to say. But I don't understand why Tom, who is probably the most knowledgeable on that board about this subject, does not have more input, and his opinions are poo-pooed and not respected. When I said, when you grant setbacks, you do not allow variances. And if you don't think that you're gonna get sued when you allow this guy a variance and this guy a not variance, you can call it hypothetical or whatever. I call it not using common sense. You set your setbacks and you stay hard on them. You do not give variances, period. Then you don't have problems. But if you think you're gonna a variance to this guy, one to this guy, but not to this guy, and think you're gonna not get sued, you're wrong. You will. So I just say, evaluate these very carefully. Try to do what's best for the village. Not for yourself, not for your view. Look into multiple duplexes, whatever you guys can do to promote somebody to build any kind of structure here in town, I would implore you to do so.
No one's gonna build in this town until some of these businesses start cleaning up their sites. I mean, you drive through town, you gonna build a house here?
I mean.
It's gonna start with these businesses.
There's some of these corner lot, some
Yeah,
of these,
clean this
I mean,
stuff
who
up.
owns those? Clean that up.
That goes with the enforcement and the blight and all the other stuff
I
that
mean-
you're trying to get going, I understand that, but.
They don't necessarily have trash, they
village
just
will
look
never
like
become
shite. I
township,
mean,
so.
Alright, next, we have any village resident to be used in the village. We have about 1,500 yards of asphalt milling, if you'd like to come get some. They need to be used
We have to haul it ourselves.
in the village.
I'm sorry, Justin, I went.
Preferably before next summer. Once it gets hot, it's gonna be gone.
Contact you.
Just let me know ahead of time when they're gonna come get some.
No, yeah,
We have a large pile, the last that got used by those residents.
Sounds like we're adjourned, right?
Yeah, put it on low power.
I don't think we need to,
He's adjourned.
It is not. Before it was-
That's the, okay, you're supposed to be on that.
I don't-